Hi everyone, welcome to BumbleBeeCrafts. Thanks for tuning in to another video from me. It's part 2 of my Cosy Winter journal that we're making, my design team project for JournalingBoutique on Etsy. So yeah, I'm carrying on. I've only done a couple of more bits off camera since video 1 because I wanted to kind of try and do this first bit of the cover as a bit more of a start to finish, showing you all of the process. So yeah, so thanks very much for tuning in. Thank you to all my new lovely subscribers and welcome to my channel. I just wanted to say quickly, a couple of people have mentioned about my voice being very quiet. I've got my phone, I film on my phone, and I've got a ring light above here so that it shines down for you to see. And I know it's only a couple of people out of hundreds that have commented that have said about my voice being very quiet, but if they are watching today, I do have fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue health issues, so my voice sometimes does get quite scratchy, can be quite croaky, as if I have got almost sounding a bit like I've got flu. And it's a little bit like that today. My voice feels quite heavy at times. So when I do those videos, I do tend to do a much more slower paced crafting rather than full-on tutorials where I need to explain everything. But yeah, that's how it is. I am quite a quiet person, generally speaking. So yeah, if you don't like it, then it's not for you. This is just me crafting, and I want to try and be as natural as I can. I don't want to force things and start having to shout. This is me, this is my voice, and this is how I am. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that because I mean, as I said, there's only a couple of comments about it. I've had so many other wonderful comments, and a lot of you do actually like the slower, calmer approach, so thank you, I appreciate that. Anyway, let's move on and get to some crafting. So yeah, today is going to be finishing off the journal, well, the journal cover. I've gone ahead and we did these. I started this one in the last video where I was backing my pages. I then decided what I wanted to have the flaps. So I've got this one here that's going to fold up and flap up here. This one is going to wrap around the front and fold here, and then we've got the pocket in here. Just check me out, just looking to see I've got my arrow the right way. And then this one is going to do the same on this side, and that one's going to do the same there, and we've got the pocket. So these have all been stuck together, and I've also inked around the 3 sides of them. What we need to do now is create the little hinge flap that we need to do. But first thing before I do that is I want to just mark the center and do a bit of scoring. I'm just going to do that, pinch mark it, and then get my scoreboard out, because this will help me to know whereabouts the center is. And I'm just going to line it up on my scoreboard, and then give it a bit of a score. Okay, we need the scoreboard, so I'll leave that to one side. So yeah, how I always remember is valleys to mountains. You're folding this out, so you're creating the valley, folding it out to mountains. Some of you guys probably already know that, but if you are new and a beginner, then that's how I remember it. what I want to do is I have inked around this as well. I got some inks out and I basically did a bit of a test on some scrap pieces so that I could see what inks looked best, and I think I'm probably going to actually use a combination of the three that I've got here, depending on the page. This one I've used the ice spruce around because it's got more of a grayer background. This one's more blue, so I've used, which one did I pick in the end? Faded Jeans ink, and then Vintage Photo for anything else. So I want to just use the Faded Jeans and do the middle, which I'm then just going to fold this back this way just to get a bit of a, this helps, it just helps you see a line to be able to measure by eye where the centre is. When we're putting like these flaps in here, I can then judge the centre like so. Okay, so we're up the right way there for that side. So let's do this side first, and it is this one that I want to create. So what we need to do is, if I bring my scoreboard back in, you don't have to score this, you can just fold it over. I tend to give myself probably a couple of about 1.5 centimetres this is, which is probably about, is it 1/4 of an inch for, no it's not, it's more like 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch. It's just basically a little bit of a flap that you need. So yeah, I'm scoring that the right side, I just had to check. So as you can see, it's just a little bit of a flap that we need, and then that folds over. I didn't always have the scoreboard. I used to just fold things over and then use the bone folder or the edge of the scissors to flatten it down. But I have to say, since investing in the scoreboard, it does make things much easier for me. Okay, so that is just going to tuck onto here now. So we'll get that one prepped. Let's do this one because this one's going to go round onto the outside as well. So let's do it this way. It's a bit jaggedy, this edge, so I'm going to go up to 2 centimetres on this one, I think. There's no hard and fast rule, you just as long as you're creating a bit of a flap on here. Like so, that then we can glue over here and stick down, because that one I wanted it to go like this, so that when you open it up, you then open up the pocket like that, and that one just flips up and we can do something on there. Okay, so let's carry on. Before we glue them all down, let's do these two in exactly the same way. Fold them over. Okay. You're going to go on there, and then you're going to go on there. Yep, okay. So how's everybody doing today? I hope you're all doing well. I hope you've been doing some fun projects, whether you've been making some journals or you're getting into your festive makes with the hashtag Christmas Craft Off 2023. So I could have it a bit more that way. That's nice, and then you've got the pocket there. Okay, so now what I need to do is just finish the inking on here. So we had faded jeans on this one. So I do all my inking before I glue it down. And I do this side so that when you look down at it from the top, you will see that. And the same with the inside. I just fold this back. And this side as well. There we go. So that's that one. That one was the different, this one's the blue. Okay. Started watching last night the Wizarding World, all the Harry Potters and everything. Obviously we started with Fantastic Beasts and where to find them, or how to find them. I can't remember the exact wording, but we always re-watch those, hubby and I, at Christmas time, well, leading up to Christmas. But we decided we normally start in December, but we decided we'd start now because we've got family coming over and spending a lot of time with us during December for Christmas, so we're not sure whether they're into those or how much we'd get watched, and we just love watching those again during the winter months. So we've started already. Oh, I love the film, I really do. Okay, it's iced spruce now. Which is this one. And I'm also thinking I might have to start watching my Christmas movies soon, again for that same reason, because we're going to be probably out and about, or if we're not, they're going to be here and we're going to be entertaining. So I don't really know how much time I'm going to have, and I love my Christmas movies. I'm afraid I like cheesy Christmas movies. A classic Hallmark film is just, yeah, I do enjoy them. It's not hubby's cup of tea. I tend to watch them late afternoon, and if I've had a fairly busy morning and I need to have a rest, or I'll stick one on at lunchtime if my fibro is playing up and I need to rest a bit longer. So I might have to start my Christmas movies in November. So I'm not sure which one I shall start with, but I shall probably tell you when I'm chatting away while I'm crafting. Okay, last little bit of inking and we're there. We can start gluing these in. And then once we've glued these bits in, I want to fix that front bit with the pocket, and we can do that. So let's move them to the side. Right, so we've got our little flaps. So let's grab my glue. Just put that up there. And I will need some of my weights for definite to weigh them down. Put them to the side. Right, so that's going to go there. Do I want this exactly in the centre? With this one, I think I want to go slightly further over, so you just see a little bit. This one I might come further over this side actually. What do we think that would look like? Can you open it up? and you open it up. No, I think I am just going to centre that. I think that would be better because we're having a pocket down here. Yep, okay. So let's move those out and let's move that out. This is the one we want to go for and we're just going to centre it. So I just put glue all over this bit. The little flap that we've created is what we stick down. Oops. Excuse me. And this is just strong PVA glue that's ideal for crafting. Okay, so let's see if we can eyeball the centre. It looks about right. Now you want to just come slightly down, leave a tiny bit of a gap because we've got a thicker bit of that to fold over. And then I just make sure that's all stuck down. And then we will just weigh that down like so. Okay, so this one, actually what I might do is the other side. Let's just move these out the way so that I can bring that up onto there. Now this one, that's going to be like so. If we did that one kind of centre, you would still see it. So whether I hide it behind here, swing that round, what do we think? So that's all hidden. When you open it up, you've got a little flap up here, and then on this one, because this is a nice straight edge anyway, I probably have a pocket here, so you would see a little bit of the pocket there and a little bit of the pocket there. Yeah, I'm going to bring this one further over this time, so we're only going to go a short distance. Okay, so let's glue this one down. So it is quite easy really to do these little flaps, and this is exactly the same when I add the flippy flap bits onto the papers. I do exactly the same process, but I sandwich it between the two pieces of paper before I then glue the papers together. But I'll show you that because I'll be doing some flippy flaps for this journal. Okay, so we only want a small little gap, and we just want a bit of a gap there so that can ease over nicely. Yeah, that's good. Okay, make sure that's all burnished down, and again this is all going to be covered over with the fabric, which is why we're doing these bits now. Okay, so that's just weigh them down there. Okay, so yeah, that one's for that side. I want to do this one now, and we were just going to go dead in the centre for this, weren't we? Okay, pop some glue on here. Yeah, I just wanted to check I was still filming. The last video that I did, I think it was, yeah, that it aired yesterday for you guys. I had such technical difficulties. Cat was up here on the desk, and then she freaked herself out by flicking her tail and knocking everything everywhere, and slipped on the paper trying to get down from the desk, and then hubby rang, then my phone died on me, and it's just, the video was like stop, start, stop, start. So, okay, let's just lift that one up, and if we can kind of judge by eye. I'm really not measuring this. I'm just thinking, is that could come in a little bit? Look, got enough wiggle room there. There we go. I think that's good. Yeah, that'll go over there nicely. So let's just move these. Bring that over. Just burnish that down. Okay, so I'm just going to weigh this one down. Give that a few moments just to weigh down, and then we will put the other one on. What we can be doing while we're waiting is deciding on which paper I think would look nice. This is just some single-sided scrapbooking card, that 12 by 12 pad. It's from Hobbycraft here in the UK, so it's a fairly cheap pack, and I just thinking, we go with the darker one, do we go with something lighter? I'm thinking that might interact with that a bit much. I'm actually thinking the blue stars. I think that one would work nicely, so let's just pop that out of the way. Now we know it's got to go from edge to edge, so because that's the edge that needs fixing. So if I just take that out so I can see it's about there. So if we cut this down first, let's just grab my cutter and my blade. And we'll cut this the width we want. This should be dry enough now. Okay. So that is literally going to stick right on that edge, so that that straightens up that little bit of pocket, I think. It's perfect on there, look. Okay, so how far into here, into the pocket, do we want it? The page, nice little tuck, that there, do we think? That looks good. I can measure it while I cut it on here. Where are we at? Oh, I was thinking about 2.5, and is that 2.5? Yeah, it's just over to where my line was. Okay, that's good. I like that. Okay, so let me just, what about my little pencil line from there? There we go. So it's about 2.5. We'll put a little notch in that. So I'm just going to pinch, put my notch in. Cool, I need the light. There we go, that's about centre. That did not go in the bin, there we go. And that will go on there. And then you're going to have that and that. And that's the cover. That's nice, I like that. Okay, let's finish sticking this one in. And then we can stick the pocket in, and we can create a little pocket for this one as well. Okay, there we go. So again, this one, I want to try and get it just by eye on the centre. Is that enough? I think that looks about right. Okay. So let's just give this a bit of a weight. Like so. Okay. So let's ink this up. Just basically want to take off the any of the white edge that we see from the scrapbooking. Now the other thing is, because of how that pocket is, there's going to be a bit to be seen on this side, so I'm going to make sure that this has got some colour on it so it's not white. I don't know how much is seen, so I'm just going to do the whole bit. That should do. And then what I'm actually going to do is I want to just put a blue page in here, just so that it doesn't stick down. There we go. And then I'm going to actually glue on here, because this is the wonky side that we do need to glue down, but then glue the top and the bottom of this, so it's the three sides of this like you would do, but I'm putting the glue on here instead, and then we will just line that up. That looks about straight. I haven't decided if I'm going to do any sewing around this, in which case I would do this before I then put the fabric on the front. Okay. So we've got our pocket, so that's going to flap down, that's going to flap that way. So we need to create a little pocket along here. Do we just want a little piece like so? Let's do it that way. Yeah, I think that's all we need. It's just a little pocket like that for you to put something in. So let's turn it over. I'm going to be able to see my marks then. Let's go there. And I'm just going to do the same. Give that a quick pinch so that I know where the centre is. And that is going to go on there, down, down. Yeah, that's nice. We can decorate it up with some lace and trim and anything like that afterwards. But we just need to get the base down first. Okay, so we can glue this one in now. And this one's all nice and straight, so we can just put the glue onto here. There we go. Okay, so we'll take these off of here because this one should be dry enough. Okay. Oops. Come on, that's it. Okay. So that is our flippy flappies with our pockets on the inside. Let's see how we're doing for time. Okay, we're about half an hour. I'm going to pause the video here, let this all dry, then we'll come back. We will decide if we need to do anything else on the inside before we then go and do the cover on the front, the fabric. So I will be back momentarily for you. Okay, hello, I'm back. It's all nice and dry. The pockets and everything and the flaps. So yeah, this is how the cover will be. You'll open it up. It's got that flap that we created, so that protects the pocket for anything in it. You open it up. You can flip up and you've got a pocket here, not realizing that whoever gets it will obviously have a secret little compartment in there, which I think has worked really well. And where this wasn't straight, I don't know, is that picking it up on the camera? Yeah, you can see it doesn't now look like it wasn't straight in the first place, so that's covered that up really nicely by doing that. So and I like it. I like this. I normally put this style of pocket in the back for some reason. I don't know why. I tend to have a bigger pocket at the front, but it's actually quite nice having it on the reverse. It's worked out really nicely. And then on this side we've got the bottom pocket with the hidden pocket in there as well. So that is the inside of the cover done. I'm not going to stitch around here. The main reason obviously is because we can't now stitch now that we're creating this as two pockets here, because you'd end up closing this all. If you did want to stitch, you would have to keep the envelope that we used open big as I had it originally, cut open, and then you could do your collage and stitch round. But when you then join this edge together, you would have to glue the two together, and you wouldn't get this nice smooth edge where the collage has been folded over. So I don't think we will be doing any stitching on this. I might do some stitching on pages in the journal because I do like that look, but that's the inside of the cover for now done. We might add some lace and trims and some pockets to these at a later date. What I now need to focus on is covering the outside of the cover, and I've got the three materials that I've been thinking of using here. This is just some lovely upholstery fabric, just a scrap of that I've got. I'm still recording. And what I'm thinking is this could just be slightly overlap so that you see on this side, I don't want to see too much, but you just see a nice frilly edge is what I'm thinking there. And then My idea originally was to use this stag on the cover, fussy cut him out, tear around him a bit, layer him up with some different papers and that, but I've actually changed my mind. I'm actually thinking more of this pattern on the front and doing the same, layering it up. So you'd have this as your cover. Then I was thinking I could layer up this lovely velvety, it's quite slippy and shiny material, but it's really, it speaks coziness, and if I was to do any knitted material it would just be too thick, I think. So yeah, layer with that, layer with a bit of the lace, and then have that as a little collage on the front there. I think would be really quite nice. Not sure if I'm going to be doing any other like lace trims or anything down the side. We can decide on that in a little while. So let's cut, first things first, let's cut a piece of this that we need. So I flip my mat over, and I like how this edge is already frayed, so I'm going to focus on using this edge. And if we just get it straight to there, move that. That's what I was thinking of, this lovely brownie coloured ribbon for the tie closure, but we'll think about that in a minute. This, if we're going that way, it's going to be like that. Okay, so I've got my rotary cutter and my dressmaker's square here. We just move these out to the side so that I can easily flip around the desk, otherwise I'm going to knock everything over. Flip this now around here. I'm going to stand up for this. Okay, so I only want a little lip, which is about here. I've got centimetre marks on here with this dressmaker's one, so I'm literally just going to cut 1/2 centimetre. Move that up, keep it straight. Lovely. Might need it to have come down a bit further here. There we go. Okay, swing this around this way, making sure we are still straight on this edge, like that. That a little bit of an edge. Oops, it moved. Okay, so what do we want? We just want a little 1/2 centimetre, don't we? Like so. Oops, didn't quite catch that. Okay. So I don't need that anymore. I just now need to turn it this way and straighten up this bottom piece, making sure that's straight there. I think we might have got a bit too much at the top. That's looking good. There we go. I'll make a fun little scrap for something. Okay, that is a nice snug fit to that. Now I do want to do a bit of fraying on it, so let's just see how we can fray this, because if I'm not folding the edges over, then I do like to see a frayed edge on. Okay. That's that edge. This edge is nicely done. Let's do this edge. There we go. And then along the bottom. And then we can glue it together. Yeah. Right, they will go in my jar. Okay. I'll get rid of the little threads. So we are back on here, and this is just going to sit nicely inside there. So when we fold that over, before I glue it down, let me just move these out of my way because we don't need those anymore. Now bring these little lot back. We're going to have that layered up. Yeah, I definitely think that's the one I'm going to go for. So I don't need those, they can go behind me. What I need to decide is how I'm doing my closure. Do I put the ribbon on around the centre, or because we haven't yet stuck this down, do I have it so that it's stuck onto here? And then what would that be like? Let's open this up. This is lovely ribbon I got from my local hobbycraft here in the UK, and I got it for autumn ones, but because this kit from Jo has got some gorgeous vintagey kind of brown images in here and stuff, I just thought this would bring that element in. So what will we be like if you had that and you just tied it up like so there? That would overhang as a bow. That would actually be really quite nice, wouldn't it? I think I'm going to do that, which means we need to do that first before we carry on with the cover. So 1, 2, 3. How far would that give us? Would that be enough to tie? Actually, we might need to do 4. And then that's the end. That gives a lot to tie up, but we can cut the excess off that we don't use. So I'm going to do that, just 4 lengths of the journal as a rough guide. Now you could, because we're sticking the other one down, just put a little bit in here and cut it in half, which I suppose we could actually do, couldn't we, so that we don't waste too much of this hidden behind the journal. That would work, wouldn't it, actually? And then I will just glue a section of this in like this. Use the Fabri-Tac glue because that's really very strong. We've got this that's going to be then glued down on top of it anyway. Yeah, I think we're going to go with that. So we'll cut this in half and use our Fabri-Tac glue, or measure. I'm not going to do this bit by eye. I do want to kind of measure roughly what it's going to, where the center is. Oh, it's 23, so that's 10, 11 and a half. Oh, my maths then just did not want to work, which is about here. You're not going to see that line, so we can draw on that. Let's do the same this side. Lovely. I'm just going to put a bit of glue all around this bit first, and then we'll glue down whatever else is left afterwards, because I want to make sure I have a good amount that's glued in here. Yes, that's the way you want this side up, don't we? Because the other side of this is flatter. Okay. So turn this around so that I can do it this way. We come to about here. Put glue under here. Make sure that is all properly glued down. I'm just going to fold that under here, like so. So we get it nice and flat. We can always add a bit more glue. I think this bit here looks like it needs a bit more glue as well. Just there. And get that really stuck down good. There we go. Now I'm going to leave that to dry for a minute while this is pulled this way, so that keeps that nice and tight. So let's move this to the side. Put my glue back on here. Okay, first things first with this is I need to put this onto some card. So I'm just going to cut up the middle. And we don't need all of this. So I'm just going to do that. We can use that for something else. Bring in my glue page and my Pritt stick, and I'm just going to glue this down onto some card. I'll glue it all down, and then that way I can tear around exactly how much of it I need. This will just give it a bit of strength when we work on it as the journal topper. Oops. Okay, leave that to dry for a minute. Got glue on the lid. Okay, so we've got our cover here. We can just be working on the size of this for now. Do we want it that way? Yeah, that's the way I was going to go. That's going to go on there. So let's just cut a piece of this off. Does it want to roll that end? No, it's not rolling that end so much. blue threads everywhere now. Covered in blue fluff. Okay, so that's given us a little bit of that. And if I do the same again with the lace, we just want to cut a piece off of here. Just, it's easier to work with smaller pieces. So that's about what we're going to need for that. Okay. I'm just wondering, do I cut or do I tear? Let's cut the excess off first. We don't want the excess around that. I think tearing might be quite nice, because then I can, although I have got a tool that I have never actually used. I got this ages ago and I've not actually used it. Okay, let's do this. Let's do a bit of fussy cutting instead. So I know I'm going to come straight down here because of how the presents are, but I want to then go around. Like that, do we? Yeah. We go around. There. I think that might actually be quite nice. Put them over there with the scraps. Right, now that we've done that, let's open this little tool. If I can, get into it. There we go. Yeah, never used this, so let's give it a go and see. Might need my bin for this one. Oh dear, excuse me. Oh, excuse me, I do apologise. That's the that will be the fibres from the that material. Oof. It's not coming up too bad. I think time that's ink, that's really going to make that look nice. Yeah, I've never used, I've seen these been used by lots of other crafters that I enjoy watching, but it's a bit fiddly because we've got all these little rounded bits. I think if you were doing a straighter edged one, it would work much better. Okay. Let's decide on what ink we're going to use. What do we want? I'm actually wondering whether just the vintage photo on this rather than anything blue, because we're going to have such a striking blue with this. It's leaving fluff all over there. So yeah, I think I'll just go around with vintage photo. See how this inks up. Nice. Yeah, that's inking up nicely. I must remember I've got that little tool and use that more often. There we go. So that's what's going to be our little focal point on the front. This should be dry enough now. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That's dried nicely. So let's go and do, show what I'm going to do. I'm just going to grab some paper clips. So that I can keep them closed like so. There we go. I might put one at the bottom as well, just like there. Got another big one. There's a purple one. It's a bit too bent and loose. There we go. There's another one here. There we go. That's just going to hold those flippy flaps down while I flip it and do these. Okay. So, how much roughly did we have on the inside? We had about this much. Okay. Put a bit of glue on here. Get in its centre. Stick down. Okay. Doesn't want to stick this one. Maybe I need a bit more glue. Come on. We need a little bit more on this end. Just squidge a bit under there. A bit more along here, because I really want to make sure it is glued down properly. There. I think that's enough. Let that dry for now. So let's just move that to the side while that dries. Just get rid of some of the little glue bits on my fingers. Okay, so let's come back into this. So I definitely know I want to layer it up with some lace behind it. And I'm just wondering whether we kind of do the lace roughly around it, whether that would look quite nice. I've got a bit this here to remind me as to whether I think we need to layer it up and raised up, but I think time you've got these layered up, I think it's actually going to be enough. So I think I want to stick this down onto here, then I think I'll do my trimming around. Okay, let's do that. So I want a good amount of a Fabri-Tac glue. Got about 1/8 of the bottle left, so there should be enough. Let's glue this up and stick our lace down. was this way, wasn't it? Because that's the little bit that I thought kind of mirrored coming out. Yeah, like so. I still haven't got a spatula. Someone suggested a while back about getting just like the little silicone spatulas that you use in the kitchen. I know Gail uses one of those when she's doing fabric tack, but I still have not been anywhere to get myself one. So I just use my hands and then have to pick all the glue off afterwards. Okay, so that's nice. I like that. So let's come in and just unstraighten that edge. Then I think what I'm going to do is just come up here, and then we can, I'm going to try and mirror this shape, but I don't, very loosely. There, I think that looks really nice. A couple of little scrappy bits there. See, that in itself would look really, really nice, but I just want to pop some blue behind it is what I'm thinking next, so that you've got a bit of blue. But the blue, again, I don't want the blue to go any much further out, I don't think. Let's have a little look at then what we think with that on the top. Let me cut this top bit off, give me a better feel for it then. Okay, so what do we think that it's going to look like in the middle? Yeah, I think so, and I think I'm just going to have that flat on the front, I think, and then we could, if we've got some words or something, we could put a word on there, but sometimes just a nice simple cover would work. So I think that's how I'm going to go. So let's glue the blue down to the back of the lace. How am I doing for time? Oh, this video might be just over an hour video, because I wanted to get the cover done in this video. So I hope you guys don't mind that this is going to be a little bit longer video. So I'm just putting glue all around. And then I'll just pop some bits in here. Okay. Now let's get this completely, come on, uncurl yourself this little corner. Okay. There we go. Oops. Make sure that is all adhered around the edge. So I'm going to leave that to dry before I cut it off. Let's see how we're doing. This looks like it's dried nicely. Do we need any more glue on there? No, I don't think we do. I think that's done nicely. Okay, leave them on for a minute actually. So we're that way up, aren't we? And that is just going to tie up nicely in a nice little pretty bow with that over there and that on there. Yeah, I think that's going to be nice. Okay, what I'm going to do is, I think, as I said, it's going to be over an hour, this video time. I've edited it. Is I will glue this together, glue this on here, and I will literally just be using my Fabri-Tac glue again, just going round ever so carefully, making sure I've got lots of the glue all nicely stuck down. It's sealed itself all around the edges. I will trim this up. I'm just going to go slightly wider around here, and then I will glue that with Fabri-Tac as well onto the centre, and then that will be our cover completed. So video 3, I will show you the completed cover, and we can then start work on the signature and the pages that I want to put together, and I'll start to show you how I do these lovely flippy flaps in here, how I do them on my pages as well. So yeah, so thank you very much for tuning in to part 2 from me, and I will be back with part 3. Take care everyone, bye.